So we're already there. And
welcome everyone who's joining. We will start the webinar in a few minutes. Hi everyone, we're still admitting people to the webinar and we'll start in just a couple of minutes. Hi everyone, welcome to today's webinar. We'll be starting in just a minute or so. All right, I guess we'll get started now. So hope you can all see my screen. Welcome to today's webinar about MIRE, our AI-powered RFP accelerator. I'm Andy Frankel from SIA. I'm super excited to be here. Hope you are too, and look forward to getting started. So here's what we're going to go through today. Give you a quick introduction, provide the context and the RFP response challenges that prompted us to develop MIRE. We'll give you an overview of MIRE, talk a little bit about pricing and early adopter special offer, and our presence down at IBM Tech Exchange next week. So I'm one of the principals at SIA Innovations, and as I said, I'm super excited to be here. I'm joined today by Cyrus Hyra from IBM. who will speak with you shortly, and also our principal AI and data architect responsible for MIRE, Vahid Khorsani Gasab. So without further ado, just a quick introduction to SIA. We've been an IBM Gold partner for many, many years, 48 years, really a boutique consulting firm that provides services to our clients to help them leverage IBM technologies to automate, become more agile and resilient. We're a proud Canadian company. But we serve clients in Canada, the US, and the Caribbean, broad expertise, and very partner friendly. So looking forward to engaging with many of the partners that are on the line today and seeing how we can collaboratively and collectively grow our businesses. So who's the intended audience for MIRE? Well, if you regularly respond to RFPs and you know it takes a lot of time and effort, and you want to reduce that time and effort and the cost to produce quality proposals, MIRE is for you. If you want to grow your business by responding to more RFPs without creating that burden on your expert resources, MIRE is for you. And if you're one of the value-added distributors on the line or IBM, and you want to help your clients grow their businesses by giving them the ability to respond to more RFPs, this webinar is for you as well. So, what are the challenges that we have experienced as a reseller, like many of you, in responding to RFPs? Well, we know that they require highly skilled resources to respond. There's a high cost and effort, and if you're a small business like us, then when those expert resources are responding to RFPs, they're not doing billable work, so you're diverting them. So the less time they spend, the better, but you still want to be able to respond to and win RFPs. We know that RFPs can be complex. So, they come in varying sizes, and in our case in Montreal, varying languages. They have lots of administrative details. Typically an RFP comes in, it's 300 pages, and 80% of that is all the administrative stuff around the RFP, and only 20% is what is the customer actually looking for as a solution. And you need access to vendor information, to IBM information, to be able to effectively respond. RFPs require timely responses, and tight collaboration, because typically the deadlines are short, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks to respond. And we know that our subject matter experts have limited availability, and so you can run into bottlenecks and interdependencies. We also know that it's difficult to monitor results and leverage past experience. Today, most of us don't collect metrics on how much time it took us, how much effort we spent, what was the cost, what was our win ratio, how are we doing? Are we getting, a return on our investment in responding to RFPs? And also, how do we leverage those past successes we've had? And finally, scalability and return on investment is a key challenge, right? So how do we quickly determine eligibility, prioritize RFPs, and how can we scale and answer more RFPs when we know the work is very resource dependent? And how do we increase those conversion ratios? So the big question is, what if AI could help reduce the time, effort, and cost by up to 50 to 60%? Well, this was the premise for MIRE. So introducing MIRE, very excited to introduce it. It's an acronym. It stands for Multi-Industry Recommendation Engine. And what it is a tool built with watsonx and IBM's business automation platform. It's an AI application that helps automate the RFP response process with quality and speed. We leverage agentic RAG with access to IBM product documentation. It's a multilingual, today that's English and French, multi-tenant SaaS application running securely on IBM Cloud, and provides data isolation and encryption to protect your data, even from us. So we are a reseller just as many of you are, but we can't see your data and you can't see ours. So this is at a very high level, MIRE, and what I wanted to do was introduce Cyrus Hyra from IBM at this point. Cyrus worked very closely, and his team worked very closely with us as we developed MIRE, so he has an appreciation for what's under the covers and how we leverage IBM's watsonx.ai. So Cyrus, take it away.
Thanks very much, Andy. It's a pleasure for everyone to be joining us here. Thanks very much for your time today. So I'll just talk a little bit about the history of this project and then sort of where we saw the most value here. So when we first learned of SIA's use case with MIRE, it was an exciting opportunity for our build lab team, which is a dedicated team for our build partners to help, a partner bring their idea to life. And this is really exactly the kind of stuff we love to see from our build partners and ISVs. Rather than setting some kind of a lofty goal or something that's unattainable, Andy and his team took a challenge that they were facing internally as a company that answers RFPs, identified those pain points in great detail. They established a path for success, and they came to the table with a clear, concise plan to execute on that strategy. And they were very specific about what exactly they needed IBM's help with to co-create. That reduced a large amount of friction with our engineers and our proof of concept teams. And I think SIA also realized early on that everything they needed to build was available at their disposal on IBM Cloud. Whether that was cloud object storage, the watsonx platforms and tooling that are the foundational layer of what MIRE is today, our Granite large language models, for example, and then Andy mentioned business application workflow, so BAW, the automation tools that are available, as well as the recently added watsonx Flows engine, which is a solution we launched earlier this year through an acquisition of a company called StepZen, which is a GraphQL database. So when we began helping SIA to build, it was before watsonx had actually been announced as a product. So MIRE had leveraged many other legacy ML offerings to do what basically they're doing today. And then, of course, watsonx took it to the next level. So what impressed us the most was SIA's ability to, and their development team's ability to pivot, right, to watsonx as that foundational layer of the solution. So we were really happy to see and work with the team on executing this proof of concept. And it's what we love to see with our partners. So we're looking forward to going to market with the solution with the SIA team, and hope to share more at the Tech Exchange event with you all.
Great. Thanks so much, Iris. Really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure working with you and your team. And, we're excited about continuing to evolve MIRE with the help of our partners and customers who will help us, sort of chart the future projection for what MIRE will be able to do. So what does MIRE do? Well, MIRE has three core features, if you will. The first one is proposal management, where we leverage agentic AI and workflow automation to orchestrate the efficient distribution of tasks to different roles. There are a number of tools on the market that leverage Watson, and we're in a sense no different. We're able to do that proposal management to go end to end from the start of the RFP right to the response. But what we also do, and this is part of our differentiator, is the technical solution build. So we leverage digital workers to do all the different steps to understand the RFP, to match the best available products based on the requirements by looking at the IBM product documentation, to answer the RFP questions and the requirements grid, to recompose this information back together and produce a formatted response document that can then be manipulated and ultimately submitted through one of the electronic bid boards that partners use to respond to RFPs. And the third piece is also a differentiator, which is being able to monitor and understand the transformational impact that MIRE provides. So number one, obviously we're trying to more effectively leverage our subject matter experts to review and approve tasks to reduce their effort. And so we're going to capture metrics so that you'll be able to see Number one, am I able to respond to more RFPs in a given time period? Is it taking me less effort to respond and less elapsed time? And what's the trend from a conversion ratio? Are we winning a higher percentage of those RFPs? So is MIRE giving us a return on investment? So how does MIRE work? Well, it works much like you do when you respond to RFPs. You go and you retrieve the RFPs from a marketplace, sometimes called a bid board. You quickly try to assess your eligibility to bid on the RFP. You divvy out portions of the RFP to different people so that work can be done in parallel, right? Because there's the actual building of the solution, there's the pricing, there's the forms and documents that need to be provided, there's answering the requirements grid, all kinds of things that have to be done. Obviously, each person completes their sections of the RFP, and typically you're reassembling the sections into a final proposal so you can submit a response document. Well, MIRE mimics this and follows this process, but it does something else. What it does is it introduces the notion of AI agents, digital workers, to help each of the teams that's working on different tasks in order to better leverage their time, in order to accelerate their process, both from an elapsed time as well as an effort. So by doing so, what we see is benefits, right? Unprecedented efficiency gains, accelerating the overall process, streamlining collaboration and coordination, reducing the effort and frankly, the stress that often comes with tight deadlines and trying to respond quickly. And of course, the agents are leveraging large language models in the back, and so they're always on and always improving. So from a business value, MIRE will help and should help increase your capacity to answer more RFPs, enhance the quality of your proposals so you win more of the RFPs that you answer, that it reduces the effort required by your subject matter experts, and in so delivers a rapid time to value and a return on investment. So what's our initial target market? Well, today MIRE is available for partners who answer RFPs with IBM solutions, IBM products, of course. And we're currently supporting answering both French and English RFPs. So good for our teams and partners in Quebec, as well as the rest of Canada, the US, and the English Caribbean, for example. Where are we going with the product? Well, our future expansion plans include, of course, adding new features and improved agent reasoning. We're going to add additional languages and geographies. We foresee in the future adding additional technology vendors, obviously provided that those vendors give us access to their data as IBM has. And then eventually maybe non-IT type industry solutions. Here's a quick peek at pricing. So if you take the silver option, the lowest option for small partners who answer up to 20 RFPs in a month, what we're looking at is the equivalent of maybe a half of a full-time equivalent employee at $4,000 a month. There's some setup required. So there are some one-time setup fees for MIRE, depending on, again, on your size and what has to be set up. And we're also going to offer optionally what we call business managed services for MIRE. So the MIRE subscription includes help support, typical help support. The business managed services are really about helping you optimize how you work so that you can leverage MIRE more effectively to achieve the outcomes you're looking for, which is answering and winning more RFPs. That said, we are just launching. We just went GA mid-September, and so we're looking to sign up our very first sets of customers. And for those first 10 customers who sign up, we're offering some benefits, right? So a 6-month no charge use of MIRE, both from the subscription and the business managed services, and we'll waive some of the initial setup activities, or the cost of the initial setup activities, which represents about a 40% savings on the one-time setup fees. And in return, we're looking for our early adopters to provide input, to provide feedback to us, to help us influence the evolution of MIRE, to become references, to provide us with quotes, to help us build a white paper, and again, to be happy and satisfied customers, and to be able to again influence how we evolve the product so that it suits their needs. So today we're at our webinar. But we're going to be down at Tech Exchange next week, and we're going to be hosting a happy hour on Tuesday from 5 to 6:30. So nobody will miss their visit to the Universal Islands of Adventure. And our happy hour is going to be at the Fast Break Sports Bar, which is in the Hilton Orlando Hotel, which is the closest hotel to the conference center. We have a registration link. And by the way, for everyone who is here on the webinar, we're going to send you a copy of the presentation slides, and we'll make the recording of the session available as well, so you can share it with your colleagues. So feel free to, if you're going to be at Tech Exchange, to register, come down and meet us, and you can connect with me as well. I'll be down there. So I've given you my contact information. There's also the IBM Events app where all the participants will be, and you can certainly connect with me through that as well. And obviously, following Tech Exchange, you can, or immediately you can visit our landing page for more information, some presentations that include some screenshots and so on. And of course, contact me so we can talk about your interest and arrange a meeting, a demo, and talk about how you can get started. So that's really what we wanted to present today. And I probably should have said at the outset that if you have questions, please add them to the chat. And so I will give you, certainly some time, but if you have any questions, please feel free to submit them, and we'll be happy to answer them. And if you don't have a chance during this session, then you can certainly reach out to me afterwards, and we'll be happy to answer your questions, to set up some introductory meetings and so on. So thanks for your attention. And Camilo, let me know if we have any questions that came in through the chat.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. Yeah, so there's a question regarding what is required to get started and how long does it take?
Okay. So if you think about answering RFPs, typically organizations have a team, right? Smaller organizations, there may be one person who does everything, but more often than not, you have a team, someone who looks at the legal, the salesperson who's looking at the pricing, the technical team that's looking at the actual product proposal, answering the RFP grid, and sizing the solution. And so to set up MIRE, we have to set up the organization. We have to set up, you may have multiple locations with different people who play different roles in the different locations, the different bid boards you may use to access and RFPs, some of the questions that will help you assess your eligibility to respond. So there's some setup to do, obviously. Then, of course, training and initial support for deployment. So typically, if I take a small business partner, there's probably 13 or 14 days of work to help you get started. Typically, we can do this over the course of 3 to 4 weeks, so that you can not just be set up, but effectively start to bring RFPs through MIRE and answer them. So Typically, we'll expect a 3 to 4 week deployment time frame where we're working collaboratively with your team to help you get set up and leverage the tool effectively.
Okay, Andy, I have another question. There are any other AI-enabled RFP tools in the marketplace, and what makes MIRE different?
So I talked about that a little bit earlier. So there's a number of tools that help with proposal preparation. Good tools, but typically those tools are focused on really the actual creation of the document, right? So you look at an RFP, you know what you want to respond with, and now you just need to assemble the pieces into a proposal. So that's what most of these tools do. Where I believe MIRE differentiates is our ability to look up the IBM product documentation to be able to come back and propose a solution, that what I call the technical solution build. So being able to propose a solution and being able to leverage the IBM documentation and the digital agents with Gen AI to respond to how does the proposed solution or the proposed products that form the solution, how do they satisfy each of the requirements in the requirements grid. And then, of course, the last piece, which is that dashboard that helps you view how MIRE is helping reduce effort, accelerate response time, increase conversion ratio, and so on. So being able to measure and monitor and measure those to see the effect that MIRE has had is also a differentiator from some of the tools in the marketplace. Hope that answers the question.
Yep, I actually let the microphones open for anybody to jump in if you guys have any questions. So please feel free to ask any question if you have any other one.
Yeah. Maybe I'll give an opportunity to our chief architect Vahid to pop in and talk a little bit about how we're leveraging watsonx.ai under the covers and what's cool about MIRE.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. So watsonx.ai is actually the platform that we are using for LLM and agentic AI. We are using Crew AI under the hood of watsonx.ai. It's a library in Python that we are applying that in order to orchestrate our agents together. Crew AI is the interesting tool that we are using. It gives us an opportunity to manage the tasks with different agents and making those agents collaborate with each other accordingly. And also each of the agents are able to use a LLM service, which we are applying from watsonx.ai tool. And for us, Llama 3 is the LLM that we are using, and we have various selection, different tools of LLM into watsonx.ai platform that we can change our LLM and based on our needs, select our best LLM tool. So that's the reason that we are using watsonx.ai, because it's a platform that gives us a variety of selection, and we would be able to go through different ones and based on our needs. So that's the reason that we are using watsonx.ai.
Excellent. Thanks, Vahid. Appreciate that. Any other questions come in, Camilo?
Yeah, I have a last one for now. I see, according to what I see in the chat. What have been your results so far?
Good question. So in all transparency, we're just getting started. So we're testing the tool internally. We don't have customers yet using the tool, and this is why we've made a special offer for the early adopters so that they can help us experiment, test, and start using and getting benefit from the tool, and provide us with a feedback so that we can quickly improve the tool, identify what enhancements we need to bring to make it even more usable and move forward. So that's really where we're at this point. Cyrus, any closing comments from your side?
No, actually, Vahid covered some of the points around the flexibility of the platform. You know, the idea is that in a landscape where large language models these days are ubiquitous, we don't want partners and customers to be pigeonholed into using a particular model or framework. There needs to be a flexibility for people to develop how they choose and use the tools that they need to get the job done. So this is why this solution makes sense, just from a platform perspective, from an IBM perspective. We're just happy to be able to allow SIA to develop how they choose and have that flexibility to pivot should they need a different model tomorrow or the next day. And the various agents also do different things, as you saw in the slide that Andy showed. So not one model necessarily solves for all of the different things that the platform is doing for the end user. So you also need that flexibility within the platform. So yeah, just wanted to highlight that as well.
Great. Well, thanks very much. Let me just go back to this slide and say, so what's next? So as I said, if you're going to be down at Tech Exchange, let's connect. Let's get together. Come to our happy hour or just simply connect with me through the events app or through my contact information. And whether you'll be at Tech Exchange or not, reach out, visit our landing page to get a more detailed presentation of MIRE, and contact me so we can discuss, and provide you with a demo and talk about how you can get started. And we look forward to hearing from all of you. And again, thanks very much for joining today. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.
And then